I know we had a conversation earlier about Myles Jack and Zach Cunningham signing to the Philadelphia Eagles. My opinion on this real quick is that I understand Myles Jack is 27, 26 years old, but he has not produced in this league enough for me to to be like, okay, this is my starting linebacker. Yes, he played on the opposite side of Watt at linebacker, but Zach Cunningham is the better linebacker for that system than Myles Jack is. So I understand that they got Nakobe Dean, they drafted Nolan Smith, they lost TJ Edwards, they lost Kaiser White in free agency. But do you think the Eagles gotta still signing both Myles Jack and Zach Cunningham before I get into my other list of stills of free agencies and
Hell
training camp?
yeah. Bro, listen, I played against Myles Jack last year. He was with the fucking Steelers, okay? He did well last year, especially as the number two, which has me say this. Now he's going to the Eagles. Everything on that Eagles defense is fucking top notch. Let's be honest here. It might not be the top notch, but it's up there. You know what I'm saying? Every category from the Eagles defense to the Eagles offense is on the top 10.
Even though they both of their coordinators left for head coaching jobs, even though that's gone. So
Well,
do you feel
no,
like
no. That can be a huge hiccup. It can be. It can be.
right?
I talked about that before. Coordinators do mean a lot. That's why I said I don't know if George is going to repeat because they don't have the same offense. So they can try to implement that same offense, but Todd Monken is fucking Todd Monken. Nobody else is Todd Monken. Now, somebody else can come in there and replicate kind of what he did using their own format, but nothing's going to be exact.
Right.
That's shout out to Bill Walsh. Bill Walsh is literally the guy that like in his book he literally teaches people this shit where it's like, listen, you can do the same thing, you can try your hardest, but it's never going to be the same. You're never going to be able to replicate the same play every single time.
Right.
Every single time, it's not going to have the same outcome. But what you can do is you can add variables to make it the same outcome. Now, what you do with those variables, which again, players in different positions, how you move them, how they swing, how they block, how they move, all that is up to you. So, and like you said, there's like 16 coaches in the NFL as far as offensive coordinators go that run a West Coast system. But you think more than two of them even have a kind of similar style? Not at all.
No,
Not
absolutely. You
so.
might see it as the same play on two different teams, but is the wording and the verbiage is different? Absolutely. Probably the looks as a quarterback might look different too, because even though it might look the same, but it's definitely not the
So,
same.
so I'm gonna say this, right? You put Cunningham as the Mike, and you put Jack as the Sam in that defense, and you let them flip flop depending on what the play is. I mean, Miles Jack is a good coverage defender. He is, and then he also has that ability to sniff that ball out, and that's what I like about Miles Jack. Now, a lot of the times, is he tackling them past the line of scrimmage? Yes, but as far as like again for his position and what he does, he can only play one position on that field. So he's not playing defensive lineman. So it's not his fault that they're getting past the line of scrimmage. Now, when he fucks up a tackle, that's 100% his fault, and that's why he didn't go in the first wave at free agency. If he was a 100% sure tackler and played like he did last year and wrapped up and got every single one of those tackles and didn't let nobody slip, he 100% goes in the first wave of free agency, completely underrated. Cunningham, on the other hand, is surprisingly underrated. He's been surprisingly underrated almost everywhere he's gone. I
Yeah.
think the Buffalo Bills was the only team that he ever really got some pop for, but even still, bro, I'm gonna let these two go out there and run fucking rampant, especially with these young guys. It's gonna be awesome.
Actually, now you adding Nolan Smith from Georgia, then Nakobe Dean's coming off an injury. So it's going to be a good linebacking core, especially it's been a lack of depth in that linebacking core for a couple years for the Eagles.
Well, now you got
But
it.
but I just didn't understand how you didn't bring back Kaiser White. Kaiser White was so good for them last season, even though you got him on a 1 year. But he was a monster in him and TJ Edwards was all right, but I think Kaiser White was the better linebacker in my opinion. just from watching the game. And Kaiser White was just a big factor. But I mean, I understand you got Hassan Riddick that's coming off a big year as well. So I mean, it should work out really good. It should work out really good.